Hey everybody, this is AskJoshy. Welcome to Game 1 in a best-of-3 series being played between this red Terran right here. It is StarCraft. I know that name is a little hard to read, but it is StarCraft. He's the red Terran on the right side of Shattered Temple, and way over here on the left side we have IM.LosirA. He is the blue Zerg, of course, and they're going to be speaking Korean to each other. I don't pretend to know how to speak Korean. Okay, one time I did pretend to know how to speak Korean, but Doa was actually just cheating and helping me between games to pretend to read Korean. So I have no idea what they're saying aside from that English GL that you see right there, but either way, LosirA and Bomber are actually incredibly well matched here. I think both of these guys are very, very even on skill level, actually, honestly. Actually, they share some of the same accomplishments. LosirA and Bomber actually both have GSL Code A victories. They both have first place GSL Code A accomplishments. Both Bomber and LosirA also have all killed NS Hoseo in the GSTL. LosirA did it last year, Bomber did it this year, but Bomber actually has one accomplishment that LosirA does not. Bomber actually won an MLG in 2011, while LosirA only got second place to Slayer's MMA. So Bomber holding that over LosirA's head. I'm wondering how often these guys actually get to hang out and tease each other and stuff like that, but now Bomber does have a little bit better accomplishments on paper, so we'll see which one of these guys is actually going to do well here. This is the semi-final for the IPL4 Online Qualifier number 2. It's a best-of-3 series, and the winner actually qualifies for IPL4, the live event in Las Vegas, and they move on to the finals of this qualifier to play for seeding. So Bomber versus LosirA, one of these guys will guarantee to be at IPL4. Now we're just watching to find out who it is. LosirA is going to arrive over at Bomber's base just in time to bash his head against the supply depot wall. This first barracks is going to finish and probably immediately start building a marine. There it is, and that orbital command is usually not too long after there that is. So LosirA dropping his natural expansion already, followed by a spawning pool. No gas just yet, so he's not going to be able to build speedlings at the fastest possible moment, but still pretty quick, most likely. So we'll see how fast LosirA gets all that stuff done, but Bomber actually choosing to perhaps be a little bit aggressive here, sending that first SCV all the way across the map without actually doing any scouting. He did see that drone come in. That's basically all he saw. There are no close positions by ground on this version of Shattered Temple, so LosirA is going to be discovered here in just a moment. That Overlord hanging out over the choke is not going to help things, so Bomber figures it out. LosirA actually sent a bunch of drones. It looks like he misclicked there and sent them to the top of this cliff. I don't know how much time was lost there, but he does get a quick surround on that bunker. Not going to be going for the SCV. There's no way that SCV actually finishes that bunker in time. No, he is going to cancel and get the 75 minerals, but one drone is taken out by that Marine, so hey, that's a victory in my eyes. We got, flawless victory so far by Bomber, just snagging that one drone kill back over at LosirA's base. He is going to build a spine crawler. He doesn't know how aggressive Bomber's going to be. All he knows is that there is a reactor coming up on this barracks. It looks like he tried to sneak a drone up, but didn't quite make it. The drone actually can see this factory building right in front of his eyes. I'm wondering if we'll see Hellions or Blue Flame Hellions in just a moment, but Bomber so far actually already building a command center. He doesn't want to lag too far behind on getting a natural expansion up. LosirA, of course, is going to try to see that, but he's going to get chased off and killed by those Marines. We have this first wave of Zerglings coming in now. No speed, notably. They are going to run right over that drop supply depot. A little bit of a mistake by Bomber, leaving that depot down, so he's going to have to pull a lot of SCVs to try and deal with this and keep all of his Marines alive. These Marines are very important in this early game. And it looks like everything survived there, save one little SCV death. So Bomber already piling on some drone kills, piling on some Ling kills. Has to be feeling good so far in this game. Is he going to build a starport immediately? I don't see one. He still has no second refinery either. Tech Lab going up on that barracks, and Hellions on the reactor. That means so many Hellions are going to be coming out here soon. All these Marines, including the injured one, are going to move across the map now. LosirA saves his single Zergling from death by running it away from the Xel'Naga Tower. He's going to take a little bit of an alternate path too, just so those Marines don't catch him. And what do we have here at the front for LosirA? Just a spine crawler, one still building, and this queen, sort of a mobile spine crawler. He's going to take the high ground, it looks like, or at least guard that ramp so the Marines can't just run right into the main mineral line. That spine crawler looked like it was rearing for an attack, but Bomber is going to take a couple of free shots on LosirA's queen, but now the queen has the high ground. And you know what happens from the high ground if you've ever watched Star Wars Episode 3, but basically you win if you have the high ground. That's what Obi-Wan Kenobi taught us. Hellions coming out 2 at a time now, roasting Zerglings at the front door of Bomber. That second orbital command is finished. He's going to go ahead and drop it over at his natural. Only a matter of time now before those mules start falling from the sky and more refineries get built. We have 4 Hellions so far for Bomber. Let's see what he's going to be able to accomplish with them. 2 Spinecrawlers and a Queen, actually 2 Queens here at this choke are going to be kind of hard to get by, but if he goes around the top side, he may actually be able to squeeze in past all of these defenses and try to kill some drones. Let's just take a look, see how he does. He's actually going to snag a creep tumor as it gets placed. Always lucky to snag a creep tumor just like that as soon as it gets placed down before it goes cloaked or invisible and get that free kill. So he's just going to buy some time, set up this contain for the time being. If any lings try to run out, perhaps he'll get some kills that way, but it doesn't look like any lings are being produced for LosirA at all. He's just been droning up this whole time. 40 harvesters against 29. They move and act against another creep tumor. This Hellion actually was focused, so the way he did that was he parked the Hellion right on top of the creep tumor and just attacked the Hellion. The splash damage from his 3 buddies actually took out the creep tumor, so nice little move there from Bomber. In the production tab, we have 9 roaches coming up now, more creep tumors. LosirA is going to get this spread early, and metabolic boost for his lings. We've got repairs going on for the 4 Hellions of Bomber, and he's got more coming out now. Oh, this Tech Lab Barracks has been busy building Marauders. No concussive shells just yet, but stim is going to be done in just a moment. He's building 2 more barracks. Still no starport, still no second gas, so lots and lots of Hellions and Marauders early for Bomber. I'm wondering how much damage he's going to be able to do with this. This is actually kind of a fearsome force he's got, and this Queen is so far out in front of her spine crawlers, but that's okay. She is going to manage to get away. We've got 10 Hellions here for Bomber. Lots of Marauders and Marines falling in behind that. They have stim. They don't have any upgrades just yet, but 3 more barracks are getting added on. So it looks like biocentric play is on the menu for Bomber. He is a master of drops, by the way, if you didn't know that about StarTale.Bomber. He loves to just spread out his units all over the map, tons of medevacs, tons of drops, so LosirA is going to have to be aware of that. I'm sure he's aware of that. These guys have played so many times in the past. Speedlings gathering up here in the mineral line, a little bit of a different rally there. Probably going to be needed. Baneling Nest sprouting up out of the ground now. Evolution Chamber coming as well. Looks like we do have some upgrades rolling now for the infantry of Bomber. +1 weapons as well as a combat shield and some mech rolling out now. Siege tanks on the way. We have 2 more reactors being added on to those barracks, so he's going to have just tons and tons of marine production. But right now, Roaches versus Hellions. Bomber actually has control of the Xel'Naga Tower. He's a little bit slow to move away, but none of the Hellions do actually get taken out, so that's okay. LosirA now in control of that solitary Xel'Naga watchtower in the middle. We've got lots of bunkers put up here at the front for Bomber, as well as some supply depots. Interesting placement there. +1 weapons about halfway done. Gas income looking pretty solid for Bomber. Both players actually looking about the same on income overall, aside from those mules, gathering extra minerals, of course. LosirA going to break down the destructible rocks at his gold base, so he can start getting lots and lots of extra minerals from that. Bomber taking out a couple of Zerglings by the Xel'Naga Tower. Ooh, he might get caught here, these Speedlings. Oh my god, they're so fast, but they die so fast. And Bomber picks up a ton of unit kills there, 28 unit kills to 1. These Roaches are going to snag just 1 Hellion, but man, that was actually ill-advised attack there from LosirA, losing so many lings for nothing. But a couple of tanks have rolled out now. They do have siege mode already, and Bomber's going to continue moving forward here. He finally has a starport in production, so he can start getting those medevacs rolling out and start doing that drop play that he's famous for. Spire about 40% done there for LosirA, and lots of banelings being created now, as well as centrifugal hooks and burrow both being researched. So baneling landmines are a possibility, and just straight up baneling attacks are a possibility. All these Marauders getting free shots on the Roaches and these siege tanks just blasting away. LosirA has to get out of there, and Bomber actually takes a supply lead after that little skirmish. He's going to take out a few more creep tumors as well. 1 scan goes down and 3 creep tumors die because of it. So Bomber really liking his position so far. He can actually set up this contain. LosirA is taking a base at the top left corner, but now he's fighting back. Look at all these banelings just exploding on the Hellions, and only a couple of Marauders there. Not the most efficient banelings of all time. The siege tank still just blasting away on these Roaches and Queens. More banelings running in now for LosirA. All these Marines stemming to run away. 1 tank does go down. Oh, and that's a big, huge splash there for LosirA, so those earlier banelings not making too big of a difference. He actually does destroy quite a lot of Marines, and it looks like he should be able to clean up this force, maybe not with these reinforcements arriving, and now medevacs in play for Bomber. So wow, interesting exchange there. Actually, two smaller exchanges. Bomber getting the best of the first one, LosirA getting best of the second one. Now LosirA does have 3 bases, no mining going on just yet. He does have way more drones than Bomber has SCVs, so you can see that mineral income actually winning out for LosirA. Still hasn't taken that gold base yet. He's been a little bit too busy making mass lings and banelings. It looks like he's going to catch some Marines out in the middle. Still no siege tanks. One siege tank here, almost in range of where those lings were just a moment ago. So now the medevac drops begin, and I'm just going to issue a warning right now for all of you watching at home. It's really hard to keep up with Bomber's drops. Please don't get mad at me if I miss a drop here and there. I'm going to be clicking all over the place. I know that Bomber loves to drop all over the place, so I will be trying my best to keep up with it. LosirA is seeing this. He's got actually Zerglings burrowed at the natural of Bomber. There's just a lot going on already. LosirA doing ling run-bys, Bomber loading up medevacs to come take out bases. Is he going to try and take out these destructible rocks and just assault the third? It looks like he may just try and do this as a straight-up drop, and the other medevac has arrived now inside LosirA's main. So we have 2 drops going on. An Overlord goes down, a Queen goes down, some drones go down. Is he going to be able to take out the hatchery? Looks like LosirA is going to respond to this first. He should be able to take out all of that unless Bomber's quick about it. He actually doesn't pick up any of his units. He's going to leave them all to die, save for 1 Marauder. Back over the other drop was surrounded as well, so Bomber actually got out of there with 6 Marines still, and he's going to score another Overlord kill, it looks like. So Bomber did not commit any of the units that were outside of the destructible rocks. He didn't try to attack them or anything like that. He just ran them back to the middle, and now more medevacs are coming in to heal them up. If you look over here, we do still have some Zerglings burrowed, and there's a turret up, so Bomber can actually see these lings. He just doesn't care enough to do anything about it. Banelings and lings rolling in. Obviously, they don't want to get too close to these siege tanks. I'm still watching the minimap for any drops. I hope I don't miss any, but right now Bomber just looking so strong. He's putting up another engineering bay and an armory. His Marines are sitting at 1-1, his Marines and Marauders, of course. Banelings over on the other side only have that plus armor upgrade so far, and now that the Spire is done, we see Flyer attacks level 1 coming up. So Bomber trying to do as much as he can, sieging up the middle here. These lings and banelings don't have a good area to attack from. We do have some destructible rocks ready to die here for Bomber. He's already got his orbital command lifted, ready to go, so it's just a matter of destroying the destructible rocks there. LosirA does have 1 Zergling burrowed here. I'm curious if that's going to make a difference, if that's actually going to obstruct this orbital command from landing or not, but we do have some lings. They're not going to be able to really do anything. You can tell he wants to try and run in there from the side. He skirted all the way around the Xel'Naga Tower vision area, but he's still not going to be able to do anything about it. So now the rocks are dead. The orbital command is going to try to land unacceptable landing zone. Okay, so what's Bomber going to do about it? Let's take his vision, and it looks like he totally missed the message because he is busy doing a drop, or his 1 Marauder drop actually. So he's going to lower some depots. You can see all those SCVs distance mining, so I don't know what, he just totally missed it completely, I think. But we do have some lings going on down here. They are going to take out all of these Marines, even the 1-1 Marines with their combat shields and stim. There's a sensor tower in the middle of the map now, so he's not going to miss any more lings. There's mutas. Oh my god, mutas taking out lots of stuff here in the main. Bomber responds with a ton of stimmed Marines, and LosirA is going to back out of there with those mutas. Obviously wants to keep those alive. More Marines clear out the Zerglings, and this orbital command still has not landed. LosirA is doing a good job keeping Bomber tied up and keeping him so preoccupied that he still hasn't realized that this ling is here under his gold base. LosirA never even took his own gold base, but that's okay because he's mining off of 3 bases with 85 drones. Look at that income difference, 2,000 against 700, 800 minerals. All those SCVs doing that distance mining, look how many SCVs are distance mining from the gold because Bomber doesn't realize that his orbital command hasn't dropped. If you look at the minimap right now, he has no idea that this orbital command is just floating there. It looks, if you just looked at the minimap and saw the orbital command, you would think that it had landed already, but there's just so many SCVs distance mining right now, it is killing his income. How long is this going to go on? I actually have no idea. Finally he scans, and the SCVs look like they're going crazy trying to get these gold minerals to the proper base. Bunch of mules go down, so Bomber finally figures it out, gets everything situated, and his income should skyrocket as a result. We'll just watch this for just a few seconds, and yeah, it's going to jump up to 2K, it looks like. But here we go, another big battle rolling in. So many Banelings, holy crap, he is just rolling those guys in. Hits a few tanks, but he stopped so many of them short, he actually could have killed everything, I think. So LosirA doing a little bit of calculation there, saving a lot of these banelings and roaches toward the back, forcing a little bit of a retreat. He definitely could have got these other 2 siege tanks if he had rolled in everything. So man, oh, now he's doing a 2-prong attack. Mutalisks at the top, banelings at the bottom, takes out those 2 tanks quickly, and now we just have tons of banelings rolling forward to Bomber's base. LosirA's up by about 50 supply, and he just crushes through all those Marines. What is Bomber going to be able to do about it? He still has tons of Marines and 2 siege tanks, actually. Ooh, big blast there from the siege tanks, taking out a lot of banelings. So even though LosirA just had a massive swing, he's still not able to attack in fully to this siege line, and they're going to move forward even and be reinforced by more tanks. So Bomber, man, taking massive losses there, but still looking pretty okay economy-wise. He's way ahead on that mineral income now that he finally started mining out this gold base. His gas is about even. Actually, not even. A little bit behind. LosirA does have 83 workers, though, and 3 full bases, while Bomber is working off of just basically just 1, as his main is nearly mined out. So here we go, LosirA moving forward once again. You can see his big pack of Mutalisks down here looking for a space to attack into. There are a couple of turrets there, so that's going to try and deter him. And lots of mobile Marines, of course, with their stim, going to drive those Mutalisks out of there. One bad rally there means that Muta is going to pop for free. Bomber still in this game. Look at that, the supply is back to even. I can't believe Bomber is doing this. His production is off the charts. 13 Marines and 2 tanks at a time being produced, as well as those medevacs. And these banelings are not able to kill anything fast enough, especially with all these siege tanks in the back there. So despite the fact that Bomber was not mining properly for minutes at a time, LosirA dropping bases all over the place now. He's going to take the gold. He's going to take this natural of the top base. He's essentially going to be maxed here soon. He's got pathogen glands researching now for infestors. 22 minutes into the game, infestors should be pretty handy. He's got Hive Tech on the way, as well as those expansions. Mutalisks running back in, trying to kill some supply depots. Maybe they'll be able to pick off some tech. I'm not sure what his most valuable targets are going to be. He is going for lots of supply depots. This one is going to burn down as well, so he's minorly supply blocked. It's not going to matter too much because he is max, but this could be a problem. So many Zerglings running into the base now and trying to pick off these add-ons. Good targets there. Tanks and Marines going down as they are produced. This is a real problem for Terran players. If your production is blocked, tanks and Marines will pop out and die just instantly. So you can see all these Lings and Mutas wreaking havoc on the production of Bomber, but he's way over here at LosirA's base trying to do some damage of his own. It looks like he's not going to go back to his main to try and save everything. Instead, he's going to go for that base trade, and Terran players can kind of do this. They can lift off their buildings and run away. They can plant buildings all over the map. Zerg kind of, you know, they're restricted by their creeps, so Bomber feels comfortable in a base trade situation, and he's able to pull back enough Marines at one time to actually clear out most of those Lings. He did lose some factories and barracks. Look at this, all these Lings still burrowed in his base, but Bomber is just doing work over here at the natural. He's going to move into the 3rd base as well. All these Overlords are exposed. Queen is exposed. This hatch is exposed. Bomber just picking lots of high-value targets here, and the gold base, it actually finished and has no defenses at all. So Bomber with just huge batches of Marines roaming around the map. He's actually going to send them back. You can see on the mini-map trying to get back into his main. The orbital command goes down, but there's no minerals there really anyway. It's this production that's going to make the big difference. Starport going down now. Just Marines being produced out of all these barracks right now. He's got so many of them. They are sitting at 2-2 upgrades. LosirA at 2-2 upgrades as well, but Bomber just seems to have very good position. He's rebuilt all his supply depots. He's not falling into the red like LosirA is. You can see that 138 over 110. And all these Mutalisks, oh no, they're going to get caught in the open. The Mutas only have, what do they have actually? No armor upgrades at all, just that +1 attack, so they are very frail compared to Bomber's Super Marines. All these drones burrowing, LosirA doesn't want to lose them for no reason, so the hatch is going to go down. The drones will be saved thanks to their burrow, but that's, you know, not going to matter much when you don't have a hatchery to mine from. Medevac gets saved there by Bomber. These infestors trying to do some damage here. They actually, one more fungal would kill a lot of these Marines. You can see them burst open into blood and guts, so good move there by LosirA. He still has tons of Lings burrowed inside the main, and Bomber actually back at home trying to protect everything. He's still churning out just mass Marines. He's got Marines queued up in all of his production buildings. He's building a dozen more barracks here. Actually, only 4 more barracks, but still rebuilding tons of production here in the middle of the map, as well as another command center. Lings are going to try to do a run by, but there's so many Marines just chilling here. I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. Bomber has retracted from LosirA's side of the map, I think the income, oh yeah, oh look at that. So we have 62 harvesters there for LosirA, and we had 0 income for a little while there. No minerals at the main, no hatch at the natural, no drones or hatch at the third, no hatch at the gold, and there was no hatch there briefly at this 4th location, actually 5th location, excuse me. So LosirA was doing no mining, is actually still doing very, very, very little mining at all. He needs to unburrow these drones, but this is the only hatch he has standing, and you can see him just oversaturating there. This is going to be a tough spot for him. And I wonder if Bomber, is he even building more SCVs? It doesn't look like it. He's just trying to take over the map and get lots and lots of space for his production buildings. LosirA flies over a patch of Marines and is thankful that the Marines actually don't spot them. He may have actually killed all of them there. More scans being used to try and kill off the last of these lings inside the main. Bomber's just going to park on top of them. Lings can't move while burrowed, so eventually if he unburrows or if he has enough energy saved for a scan, he can just, you know, sweep and kill all of those lings. Bomber moving in once again to this 5th base location. There's so many tasty drones here. If he saves one scan, he will be able to kill all of these, even if they burrow. This hatch doesn't really have much of a chance to live. We have a Greater Spire about to finish here for LosirA. He's switching gears completely into Corruptors and eventually Broodlords. Hatch goes down. Drones are burrowed. Will he ever drop that scan? I'm not sure. It doesn't seem to be too much activity on the map other than this one attack hitting the destructible rocks. He does drop a scan over at this corner base, and he sees a ton of infestors and banelings moving in, so now he's going to do a little bit of marine baiting into the siege tank fire. I like this. So just a few marines out in front to try and draw in those infestors. You can see the range on this tank is quite large, especially with that scan. He's able to hit the extractor there. Base is under attack, so Lynx did unburrow. They're going for supply depots once again, but I have to say Bomber has a stronger position here, especially with all these marines available to take out these lings. There's only 2 remaining now for LosirA. A couple of marines move in, trying to take out the spine crawlers so that the siege tanks can move up the cliff. This one here is still going to be a big damage dealer to all these infestors. Infestors and banelings just rolling in, getting taken out immediately by the siege tank fire with their 1-0 upgrades. The marines are sitting at 3-2 now, soon to be 3-3, and still 13 marines coming out at a time compared to LosirA's almost nothing, 4 corruptors at a time. So 4 broodlords are in the air right now. We got mass infestors, so normally this would be a good position for Zerg, except he hasn't been mining really efficiently for so long that he is not going to be able to keep up production of all these broodlords and infestors. He's basically using all of his resources to try and get those up, while Bomber can honestly just continue churning out super powerful marines all game long and be pretty awesome at it. So another drop is loaded up. He's got a half health medevac. Kind of interesting, this medevac, for no good reason, but that's okay. A couple of lings still here in the base of Bomber. Did those lings ever get cleared? Yeah, they did. Okay. And we have a bit of a lull here, so we have tons and tons of barracks. Bomber at 144 supply, LosirA at 111. That is not an amazing supply count to be at for a Zerg player ever. Oh man, here we go. Fungal goes down on the Marines. One more Fungal will take them out, and there it is. So the Marines go splat while the Broodlings finish up the rest. We have a big load up here, or at least 1 medevac worth. The hatch is being rebuilt here at the 5th location. Hatch being rebuilt at the gold base. This base will be mined out soon, but the mining is actually pretty even for both players at this moment. I'm not sure, where did that drop just go? Where'd you go, medevac? Here you are, full of 8 marines. You great medevac you. So he's going to drop over at the 5th base location again, take out this Zergling, no problem, take out any drones, and the hatch finishes again. So now Bomber is easily going to be able to take out this hatch if he just moves forward a tiny bit with these marines. He could, you know, start attacking the hatch with more than just one 3-3 marine. But nope, the infestors are going to find them before they're able to kill the hatch. Not sure what Bomber's doing elsewhere, but that's okay. All the marines are going to die save one, because that's a powerful medevac he's got overhead, and Bomber's just expanding. He's expanding to the corner base, he's expanding to his 5th base location. The gold is completely mined out, so both players on super low econ right now. No gas income for Bomber at all, but that's okay because he's got 2200 gas, and he's only making marines anyway, so as long as he keeps these tanks alive and these very few medevacs still alive. We got Vikings in the air now to combat these broodlords. I don't know if he saved any corruptors Oh my goodness, this is actually huge for Bomber. If there are no Corruptors around here, these Vikings are going to do so much damage to the Broodlords along with these Marines just taking out Broodlings as they spawn. Tanks are going to go down. Big fungal on all the Marines here and the Vikings, but I don't know if those Infestors are going to have the energy to keep that up for long. The Vikings are going to pick off the last of the Broodlords. This looks unwinnable for LosirA. There's the GG. Bomber is going to take Game 1 in this best-of-3 series, but LosirA, of course, is very evenly matched with Bomber, so he of course has a chance to try and keep this series going in Game 2. Let's go into the next game and see what happens there.